Hello, next new video. Today we're gonna take a look at the another rank 1 in the world team here from me, Weedle, actually getting up to rank 1 in the world, most likely the most amount of times being rank 2 in the world, but this time around rank 1 in the world with actually 54 points above the second place, which is quite ridiculous. I did not want to make this video too long because you see the team already. The Pokemon that you see here are Pokemon that you see quite often, and I think that you most likely seen most of the matchups. Still, we're going to take a look here at an ABA flying type team, which definitely is very good right now. Like basically what you can see in today's gameplay is why those Pokemon are meta, because those Pokemon are like the top meta for the Open Great League, and they are there for a good reason. Like this team definitely works out super well. If you need something to climb, feel free to copy this team. But honestly, like it is ridiculous on how strong those Pokemon are. Especially for me, both flying type Pokemon are just ridiculously overpowered, like literally. Like for me, Annihilate, I feel like, is strong, is forcing a lot of Wigglytuff in the meta right now. I think this is one of the biggest reasons why Wigglytuff is so overpowered right now. It's mainly because of the Annihilate. And also, like, if you think about the meta right now, it's around a flying type Pokemon and Wigglytuff just all kind of to counter the Annihilate, which is quite ridiculous as well. But yeah, I have to say, for this team, Skarmory, this Pokemon is just ridiculous. Like, this thing is just absolutely ridiculous. The amount of games I just won because of Skarmory is just wild. Like, it should not be that strong. I think it's going to get nerfed next season. And, like, that's the poor thing about Empoleon right now. Like, Empoleon is not overpowered. Would be cool with steering like this, but, like, why does Skarmory have this move? Why is it so overpowered with it? I don't know. Anyway, after clearing up 2 opponents here quite easily and super fast with this overpowered team, we can move on to the next team here. It's going to be the Goodra in the lead, which is not really ideal for us, but we can swap out to get hardwalled by a Wigglytuff. Honestly, let me know in the comment section what you think about the current meta. What would you like to see as a change? Do you think that the current meta is cool? Do you think there should be some more changes? I always, by the way, read all the comments. Like, even if I don't reply or whatever, I still see them. So feel free to let me know in the comment section what you think about the current meta. There will be very likely a video coming up next week towards yeah, some changes that I definitely would make for the upcoming season, but we have to see on this. Definitely there's going to be a video towards it next week. Anyway, we're going to be in a very solid and very bad spot here. I want to say very solid is it not, definitely. We're going to be in a bad spot where we're sadly going to now lose against a team that's consisting of Goodra, Wigglytuff, and Bastiodon, but that's the Great League meta right now. So, yeah, basically you have currently 2 choices to go for the Open Great League. Go Degen with like some toxic fast move beatdown team, or go ahead and go for some Charger Bug, Annihilate, Gligar, or Skarmory Core. All of those kind of, that's kind of the options that they currently have for the Open Great League. And it's kind of sad, I feel like it's kind of sad. But yeah, this team here for sure going to be strong. Oh, look at this, Lickitung has no chance against us. Like Lickitung, nothing they can do against that Skarmory, and like with the fast move pressure that we have now as well, we can just overfarm the 100 energy, basically force the opponent to take the Sky Attack, gonna let the move go through as well. Now we have a ton of energy against whatever wants to come back in. Now it's going to be the Skeledirge. Fine by me. I still have 2 good answers against Skeledirge in the back here with both the Annihilate as well as my Gligar. I have a shield advantage now, which is totally fine. So there is basically nothing the opponent can do here anymore to win this battle. We can go ahead, go for now a Shadow Ball, I guess, against the opponent's Annihilate, and this is going to be a good game. If they let the move go through, that's going to be, yeah, for sure a good game, and they do this, and so they decide to very likely forfeit soon as well, because we can just go for the 9-slash spam. There's not a lot that they can do about it. They decide to use a shield, and yeah, that's going to be a good game to the opponent. Next one, we're going to have Charger Bug in the lead. Yay, we're going to be able to completely hardwall this Pokemon with our typing, but honestly, while we can hardwall it, it is actually not the best matchup for us. It is still a very good matchup, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying that Annihilate against the, the Gligar against the Charger Bug is going to be a bad matchup at all for Gligar. But if you take a look at this, like the damage output still from Exa is quite solid. Like we're still down close to the red health there before knocking them out. So I think that's definitely a solid play for the Charger Bug. Charger Bug also a very solid Pokemon right now. You're gonna see the Lantern coming in, and we can try to go for a bait here, trying to force a shield from the opponent. I doubt that they want to use that they want to take a dig here from us, and so we decide to let the move go through. We have a shield advantage now. The opponent has a little bit of energy, I think like 1 or 2 fast moves, but it does not really matter anyway, as we can now just retaliate with our Annihilate, go for a Shadow Ball after they go for their own charge move. It's going to be the Surf, and we can just use the shields up for this scenario. Let's see here what they want to do. Now, do they want to use a shield against the Shadow Ball? Yes, they do, which is a little bit annoying because we have to get rid of that Lantern in order for our Skarmory to shine, as Skarmory is getting completely walled by Lantern, which is one of the main reasons why this Pokemon is still here in the meta even after the nerf this season. Anyway, we're going to end up now with, a perfect scenario. Goodbye there, opponent. We can move on to the next one. Gligar against Skarmory, and this is like the one. There are two issues for this team. Like, this one issue for the team, which I really don't like, and basically Skarmory leads is going to be very tricky for it. The other kind of issue for this team as well is Lantern leads with Water Gun. Like, Water Gun Lantern destroys this team. Like, this is something that you definitely have to keep in mind. Water Gun Lantern is going to be one of the worst possible Pokemon to encounter for this team. But even here, it was a little bit of an annoying one to have Skarmory there. We can still get the shield at least from the opponent, but like, what are we going to do now? We are forced to go into our Skarmory because I don't really want to take a hit from an Altaria with some neutral damage against our Shadow Gligar. Rather go for the resisted damage here. But we have to hope that they go into their own Skarmory, which they actually do, which is going to be fine for me. I can try to go ahead and go for a Sky Attack. And let's see how this is going to go. This is going to be able to hopefully get some nice damage into them. It's not going to get the knockout, but of course maybe the next one is going to get the knockout here. We're going to go for a big Brave Bird, which is going to connect to do some nice damage to the CMP tie as well. I wish that we would have lost the CMP tie because we would have been in a way better spot like this. But apparently the one attack that we have invested, or like that one or two, you can see it on the right side anyway, I cannot see it, is going to be mattering quite a bit because as we're going to see here now as well, the opponent has a Poliwrath in the back, and sadly, Poliwrath has access to that move Icy Wind, which is going to allow them to win this matchup as they can do double super effective damage. And yeah, that's going to be it for this one. We can move on to the next opponent. Let's take a look at this one. We're going to have here the Shadow Dragonite against the Gligar. This is going to be a matchup where we can win the 0 and the 1 shield scenario, I think. Maybe 0 shields is also going to be a loss, but like, you definitely can get a shield advantage here. Like, you can force a shield advantage guaranteed because we can outspeed the opponent, which is kind of cool. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and go for that Aerial A spam against the opponent's Shadow Dragonite, which is going to allow us to get another shield, and we can let the moves go through, go back into our Skarmory and see what they want to align against us. We can take a superpower. I'd rather keep the shield for the Annihilate for later on. And honestly, this I think was my favorite game. Yeah, this I think was definitely my favorite game. Take a look at this game. Definitely pay close attention to this one, and also leave a like on the video and subscribe. Feel free to do that, thank you. But let's take a look at this Brave Bird landing against the opponent's Azumarill. So now it's down to Annihilate. We have one shield, which you're going to have to use here anyway because they're going to outspeed me. So we have a Pokemon that we don't know. We have the Azumarill. And we had the lead matchup, which I also forgot already which it was, so that's going to be lovely, but I know that this is going to be very, very cool. Oh, it was the Shadow Dragonite. The Shadow Dragonite still lurking in there in the back. It's going to be now the Lickitung. The opponent still has 3 Pokemon because the Azumarill didn't even go down. We don't get a boost here at all. We can go for another charge move, hope for the best. But we are shieldless, I think, at this point. We have our Annihilate here, and they just have to go for the Power Whip to win the battle. And as we're going to see here, Power Whip is coming through against our Skarmory, allowing us to now take this move, go for another charge move, expecting that this is going to be the best way of playing this battle out, which is actually not the case. Why? Because we are going to still have to encounter that Dragonite. But luckily, they decided to go into the Azumarill, allowing us with that to get a move off earlier, and so they completely misplayed this one at the end, but allowed us to win this battle with a 1 HP in a dream. Next opponent, we're going to have a very neutral lead. That's not ideal, like it's not like a crazy good one, but it's also not a really bad one. They swap out into the Azumarill here, which I'm totally happy about. The thing is here, at this point, if they have this kind of matchup, I'm very likely going to have like a Wigglytuff in the back to counter those fighting type Pokemon a little bit better. What we're going to try to do here is, after they go for an Ice Beam, there's no way they run Ice Beam plus Hydro Pump. Like, this is basically a moveset that nobody ever really runs. Only really Play Rough. Like, Play Rough is kind of always like set, and like then either Ice Beam or the Hydro Pump. And as you can see here, we can align ourselves, which is lovely. But as you're gonna see as well, I want to swap out into my Gliga, knowing that they're very likely going to have that Wigglytuff in the back. And with this, I'm going to be able to align myself perfectly here. I can go for the Aerial Ace spam against the opponent as well, forcing a shield as well, which is kind of nice. Now it should just go straight for the dig, which either forces another shield or going to be able to get them insanely low. And we're gonna see here, we're gonna be able to force a shield from the opponent, and we can even get some more damage onto them. And so what we can do now is we can go back into the Thackery, which has that energy stored. We will very likely lose the MP tile, which is totally fine, but we're still going to end up with a 1-2-0 shield scenario with an Annihilate against Sebastian. And you know, of course, that this is going to be a great matchup for us. And so yeah, we're going to be able to easily win this battle, a good game there, and we can move on to the next opponent. Second to last battle here, we're going to have a Lantern in the lead. Again, that's a horrible one for us. Hopefully it's not Water Gun. Let's see if we can still come back from this one. It is definitely going to be a little bit of a trickier one to come back from such a horrible lead. We decided to go straight for the dig. There's a battle, which I think I don't know if I cut it out or whatever, it might be the case. Maybe it's still the last one, where I went for the Aerial Ace and the opponent called the bait, like, congrats to the opponent, that's basically game over then. So yeah, you're kind of forced to go for dig here, like no matter what the opponent is going to do, like this is going to be the best shot for you because you end up with a shield advantage, which you can hopefully use with your Annihilate. Using a shield here, of course, going for the Shadow Ball afterwards and see how this is gonna go. Thunderbolt coming through, we can go for another Shadow Ball. This is going to be able to hopefully get the knockout, and it is going to get the knockout. And so we have to see what they're going to have in the back. Oh, it's a Wigglytuff. Oh, let's see what's in the back as well. It's going to be a Vigoroth. And so we have to be a little bit careful. I want to take a Rock Slide here basically before they can go for any other damage against me. I'm not too sure how much a Brave Bird is going to do. I doubt it's going to knock them out. And so we are going to be forced to still go for it here though. Is it going to be enough to knock them out? It actually is, and so we are going to be able to even go for a Brave Bird here with all the lag that's coming in. This is going to be able to even knock out that Wigglytuff, and Thackery is just taking the game. Final battle for today, we're going to have the lead of LilyKatchum. We can swap out into our Annihilate because we have two good ends in the back. We're going to have the Thackery, which is going to be super good, but also we have the Annihilate, which is super good. What is not super good is the matchup here of us against the opponent's Gliga. We're forced to go for the Shadow Ball, which they're going to let it go through anyway, and they're going to be able to align themselves. But at least I can still go into my Thackery. With that, I get some free energy from the opponent, which is kind of nice. I barely do any damage, especially as they're non-shadow. And so let's see what's coming in. It's going to be this Whiscash from the opponent. We are going to be able to go ahead and go for another charge move here. It's going to be the Sky Attack, getting some more damage onto them. And now it's down to us trying to win here with our final Pokemon. Or is it? Let's find out. We can still go ahead and go for another charge move here. It is going to be the Brave Bird this time around, and we can knock out that Whiscash, allowing us to go up with our Gliga against the opponent's LilyKatchum. They have two shields though, and that is going to be quite a bit of an annoying one. As we can go for the Aerial Ace, we still have two shields as well on all sides, which is going to be great, of course, for us at least. And most likely the opponent thinks the complete other way around. But we're going to use those shields kind of straight away because it's very likely that Body Slam is like the hardest thing move that the opponent is going to go for. Yes, they have Power Whip, which is going to do more damage in total, but it's not going to do more damage per energy. So for us to shield up the Body Slam straight away is just the ideal safe play. So yeah, anyway, we're going to be able to go ahead and go for the Aerial Ace here. Gonna get the shield from the opponent. Can we still do something? We cannot. The opponent can still go for another charge move here against our, Thackery. Thackery would be able to take the charge moves usually quite well, but not with that HP that we're at. And so it's down to our Gliga. We're sadly gonna go down from that Body Slam. Oh wait, it's a Power Whip and we barely survive. Going for another charge move here is going to be enough to knock them out. It is, and we can win this battle. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to like. Link to me, Weedle is going to be down in the description. I'll see you then. Bye bye.